You guys want to know why I love this series so much? An episode like this is why I love this series so much, because so we go back at this point where we see why Okabe was, meeting with Kurisu. We see why Kurisu is still there. He is now in an alpha world line. But in this specific alpha world line that he's in, he gave up on saving Mayuri. Because if you guys remember from the last season, the alpha world lines was where no matter what happened, even if they managed to escape CERN's grasp, somehow Mayuri still died. There was no saving her. And that's the world line, well, the type of world line he was in was an alpha world line. So Kurisu is still alive, but Mayuri was dead, and this is apparently one of the world lines where he gave up. He didn't continue going and going and going until he got to a beta world line. He just cut it out, said, I'm not doing this anymore, I'm done, I'm the one who killed Mayuri, and he takes the guilt, takes the blame for it. And so beta world line Okabe is now in this alpha world line, now dealing with the fact that he's been mourning Kurisu and the loss of her in the beta world line, and now gets just whacked over the head with the fact that he's in a world line where Mayuri's dead, so he's got the guilt from both world lines. God, reading Steiner sounds really awesome, and it sucks in reality. But in this world line, Kurisu and Dorrough, just based on the way that Okabe has been acting through this world line, they realize that he is not the Okabe that they know from this world line. He is the Okabe from a different world line. And it gets to a point where Kurisu actually calls him out on it and says, you're not from this world line, are you? And it's like, you need to go back. You can't stay in this world line. You need to go back. And some of the things he did that, they kind of tipped off, he didn't know that Kurisu had a GPS for him. And one of the other big things was he sat in Mayuri's chair, the spot where Mayuri always sat, which apparently that world line's Okabe never did. And it got really heavy because we had Makise take Okabe to Mayuri's grave. And we saw a very interesting parallel with the way Mayuri acted as a kid when her grandmother passed away, where she would stand at the gravesite from dusk till dawn, and she would just stand there and almost like she's waiting for somebody to take her with them. And Okabe said the same thing back in the first season, which was, he didn't want anybody to take her away when she was reaching for the sky. And this is exactly how Okabe acted when Mayuri died, is he just stood there for hours on end, just standing at Mayuri's grave. And we see towards the end that Okabe reaches to the sky when the sun comes out, and that was, oh my gosh, I love this show for so many reasons, and this is one of them. I mean, it brought me to tears watching this episode because of just how the music, the acting, the story, everything going on in this show is just so perfectly done. And we see that what ends up happening is Kurisu rebuilds the phone wave and the time leap machine to send Okabe back to his correct world line. And at a certain point, he's ready to go. They send a message, or they're planning to send a message telling Kurisu from a couple weeks in the past, or a couple days in the past, not to come in. And because of that, Okabe does not want to do that, because he knows that by bringing back Mayuri, he's now losing Kurisu again. He's, at this point, now experienced the loss of two people who are most precious to him, and a world line where neither of them exist, one in the alpha and one in the beta world lines. And it gets to a point where he is super hesitant to press the button, and Kurisu admits her feelings for Okabe, gives him a kiss, and sends him back to the beta world line. And we see that by the rolling text, or rolling time leap counter, world line counter at the very end, as well as a revisit from, I don't remember which episode, I think it was episode 20, was it episode 22? I don't remember which episode. I want to say it was 22, but if I'm right, that's going to be really, really sad that I that I knew the exact episode number. But I think it was episode 22 where where Kurisu busts into the lab. And apparently we see just before that she received the text saying not to come in. She busts into the lab and admits her feelings to Okabe while he's holding Kyoma just before he does the time leap and all that stuff. So that was a hell of an episode, and it was so just... We also discovered that apparently one of the biggest reasons why CERN might be attacking the lab, or not the lab, but the might be attacking Amadeus and the servers, is because those servers house the memories of Kurisu, obviously, but she, at that point, had her time travel theories as memories. She had all of her time travel theories, and she was apparently like days away or a few days from publishing or at least finishing her theories on a time machine and time travel. And because of this, that's a very valuable asset to CERN, which that might be why they're trying to take Amadeus, is because it holds the memories as well as the information for Kurisu's time travel theories. So that might be why that's happening. But yeah, that's my thoughts on it. Oh my gosh, this episode was amazing. So if you guys want to see it, head on down to the link in the description. I got nothing else to say. Check out the links, leave a comment, subscribe as always, and I will see you guys in the next video. Make sure to be there and have a good one.